I fought battles I couldn't explain. There were nights I almost gave up, moments I didn't recognize myself. But God, He never left me. He never lost me. And now, everything that tried to destroy me is about to watch me win. I'm coming out unstoppable. God turned my pain to powerful. They tried to bury me, I grew. Now I'm rising, breaking through. I'm coming out unbreakable. Every scar now valuable. What didn't kill me made me strong. Now I'm where I belong. I was drowning, couldn't breathe, carrying weight they couldn't see, smiling outside, dying within, fighting wars I couldn't win. Felt forgotten, left alone, crying out with no one home. But in the silence, God spoke clear. I was always right here. Every tear I cried at night, God was turning into light. Every loss I thought I had was preparing something bad for the enemy. Now I see it clear as day. God was making me this way. What I went through didn't in me. It anointed me to win. I've been, but I didn't break. I cried, but still had faith. I fell, but I got up stronger. Now my season lasts longer. I'm coming out unstoppable. God turned my pain to powerful. They try to block me, I broke through. Now I'm doing what they can't do. I'm coming out untouchable. Favor me, undeniable. Every door they try to close, God open wide. Now watch me go. They counted me out, wrote my end, but God rewrote it. Now I win. What they meant for evil plans, God flipped it all. Now I stand. I got power in my voice. I don't beg, I make noise. Heaven back in every step. I ain't even finished yet. Chains broke, I felt it snap. Devil thought I wouldn't clap back. Now I walk in full authority. God restored what was stolen from me. Double blessings, double grace. You can see it on my face. I'm not who I used to be. I'm who God destined me to be. Unstoppable. I'm rising now. Unstoppable. I made it out. Unstoppable. No fear in me. God said live. Now I'm free. They try to bury me. I blow. They try to break me. I broke through. Every setback turned to gain. Now I'm dancing in the rain. I remember when I almost gave up. When I didn't see a way out. But God made a way. Now I'm proof I didn't break. I leveled up today. I'm coming out. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out. Nothing now is impossible. God turn my story into glory. Now the world gon' hear my story. I'm coming out, can't stop me. What He promised me, He brought me. I survived, now I thrive in this time. I'm alive. Look at me now. I didn't die in it. I didn't stay in it. I came out of it stronger, wiser, anointed. I'm coming out. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out unstoppable. Nothing now is impossible. God turned my pain into purpose. Now I'm living on the surface. I'm coming out, can't hold me. What He promised, He showed me. I survived, now I thrive. And this time, I'm alive. Unstoppable. I'm coming out, unstoppable. Listen, you didn't go through all that pain for nothing. Every tear, every delay, every moment you almost quit. It was all working for you. You're not coming out the same. You're coming out stronger. You're coming out wiser. You're coming out anointed. You're coming out unstoppable. With God.
Good ass.
Unstoppable.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Close to the afternoon. I'm 30 minutes early today than I was last week. How y'all doing this morning? This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it this morning. I hope your week has been a great week. I hope your morning is going well today. I hope everything is going well with you and everything around you. I hope your offsprings are blessed over and abundantly with love, kindness, and peace and understanding. I hope you're blessed with wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His Word. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you over and abundantly this week with everything that your heart desire. You know, some people are celebrating the 4th of July, which they saying that they got their independence from Britain of Europe around 1776 on this day. You know, some people are celebrating 250 years of the establishment of the United States of the Americas. You got to understand that they celebrating a corporation or are they celebrating a nation that be? You know, but we have to also understand that when the United States was fighting for their independence from Great Britain, we as African American people or Black American people or Hebrew Israelites, we was still in bondage. Frederick Douglass wrote a great poem. Let me see this. Um, let me see something. Let me see some of the things that he wrote on Frederick Douglass. Even though people were celebrating their independence on this day, African American people were still enslaved. They were still enslaved. Let me see. It says this in part of his speech. He says, "What to the American slave is your 4th of July?" He said, "I answered, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is consistent victim." He emphasized that the celebration of independence is a slam for enslaved people, describing the nation's liberty as a hollow and its religious and civil rituals as hypocritical when slavery still persists. Douglass vividly detailed the brutality of the domestic slave trade, the exploitation of enslaved people, and the moral corruption slavery imposed on the nation. So, when you start to look at Frederick Douglass' speech, it was basically contradicting the United States in their saying Independence Day from Great Britain when they still had people enslaved to the people. Enslaved to the government. So they was kind of contradicting themselves as Americans. And, you know, that's when the Constitution, the Bills of Rights was written and all of those things. But Frederick Douglass was saying, no, how can this actually be Independence Day when African American people are still enslaved? Even when you go to Juneteenth, right? It was 2 years after the fact that some people knew that the war, they lost the war, you know, and the North and South fought, and the North South lost the war. It was 2 years after the fact that some people really recognized that they was free. They didn't know they was free. They was still living like they was in bondage, right? So that was the physical freedoms. For the Americas in 1776, for the Hebrews or the African Americans, and I think in 1867, 1865, 2 years after Juneteenth Day, or 2 months or whatever it was. And then the biblical freedom for the children of Israel came in 2019 in September. So we celebrating 3 different types of freedoms. You know, if you're going to look at it from a spiritual and biblical sense, your spiritual freedom was liberated in 2019 in September. You know, your Juneteenth is the physical. The country as a whole, from Great Britain, was 1776, July the 4th, depending on which one you connect with. Because some people don't connect with Independence Day. Some people don't connect with Juneteenth. Some people don't connect with the biblical liberation of people in the Bible. So it just, you got to figure out who you associate with and why you associate with them so that you can celebrate for that cause. Okay? But, you know, my week has been a great week. I can't really truly complain. You know, I want to say this to you all. A lot of the times when people think they're doing something to hurt you, they're actually doing something for your good. And that's something that I think we got to really think about. It's like a lot of the times we got to look at things from the spiritual sense and not from the physical sense. You know, but let me go ahead and get started. Let's go to Exodus chapter, and I'll come back to that. Let us go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. And it reads, and Ananiah gave out these words, saying, I am Yahuah, the Ananiah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, and thou shalt have no other Ananias before me. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. And thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. For I, Yahuah the Adonai, am a jealous Adonai, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuah the Adonai in vain, for Yahuah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuah the Adonai. And in it thou shalt not do any works, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore, if Yahuah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days be long upon the land which Yahuah the Adonai giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. O creators of the heavens and earth, of our radiance and vibration, soften the grounds of our beings and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruits of our mission. Let each of our actions bear fruits in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom of produce and share which each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. But do not let us be seduced by that which would distract us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments For you are the ground and the fruit for vision, the creator and power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. So let it be. Yes, so good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Sabbath day, happy Sabbath day. This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it, you know. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, a lot of the times when people think they're doing something, they're actually not doing nothing but pushing you into your destiny. A lot of the times when we look at life, looking at things that going on in the world, we think that people are harming us, but they actually are preparing us for our future. And that's something that I think we got to realize and understand about life. In order for you to be who you're supposed to be in the future, you got to go through things. You got to go through obstacles. You got to go through people, quote unquote, backstabbing. You got to go through people lying to you. You got to go through people lying on you. You got to go through people hating on you. You got to go through all of these situations in order for you to be strengthened during the time that you're supposed to take your throne. And that's something that we got to understand as a people. All the things that we've been going through in life, it is there for for them to strengthen you in your life. But they're just there, and a lot of the times, people don't realize that they are the tool to help you to get where you need to be.
That's good.
They are the tools that help you to get you to where you need to be. But they're not knowing consciously that they are the tool to get you where you need to be. But they are those tools. And that's something that you have to realize as a people and as a person. Sometimes, yes, we can look at ourselves as being victims because of what you want, what you thought was supposed to be, and what you thought this and what you thought that. But in actuality, people are there to help you get where you're going. Don't be mad about, or don't get upset about your experiences sometimes if it's not personal. If they're not trying to personally hurt, harm you in any way. Even though business can seem as if it is personal when they're trying to mess with your position, when they're trying to mess with your salary, when they're trying to mess with things that is surrounding you. But we have to also realize that the creator is in charge of all things. And he knows your heart, your intentions. And he knows those other people's hearts and intentions. So that's why he utilized people in the manner in which he want to utilize them. So it's that we as a people, we can't get upset sometimes because of how people are. We just got to continue to be who we are and prepare ourselves for what's to come. That's what we have to do totally. Because I view this world as a classroom. And I'm getting ready to get started because this is going to be the second portion of last week's teachings, right? I look at this world as a classroom. And your experiences are something that defines who you are and who you will become to be. Yes, it can hurt emotionally when you see somebody think they are betraying you. But in actuality, they are revealing themselves to you so that you could know how to deal with them in the future. As long as they're not trying to physically hurt, harm you, but they doing things conniving to you, it is a revelation to you on who that person is and who those people are. And it's up to you as a people and as a person to be able to maneuver around that people and persons who did that to you. You cannot, like George Bush said, first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me for allowing you to do the things that you're doing. You know, so I want us to understand that, but I want us to also realize this right here before I get started with the teachings today, is that let us go to 2 Samuel. I'm going to read something that I was studying on this week. It's in 2 Samuel chapter 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2. I think it's verse 25. I'm not for sure. Let me see. Yes, it is. I want you to understand this verse right here. In 2 Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 2. Chapter 2, verse 25. And I'm going to say this to you. Sometimes people don't think that karma, quote unquote, karma is real. Whatever you reap, that's what you also should. Whatever you sow, that's you also reap, right? That is considered to be karma, right? But it also says this in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 25. If one man sin against another, the angel shall judge him. But if any man sin against Yahuah, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their fathers, because Yahuah would slay them. See, a lot of times, and I'm getting ready to get started, people think that they're doing something and they're getting away with something, but in actuality, when you do something against man, the righteous people of the Most High, the angels are going to come down, or the messengers are going to come down and punish you for messing with the Most High's chosen people, right? But when you do something against Yahuah, Yahuah is going to slay you. And that's something you need to understand. Everybody reap what they sow. No sin goes unpunished. No injustice goes unpunished. We got to truly understand that. Okay? So let us go back to Romans chapter 2. Romans chapter 9. Let's get down to verse 15. But the first part of Romans 1 through 15 was all about everything is designed the way the Most High wanted it to be. And there's really nothing that you can do about it, because it's talking about his power. It's talking about his sovereignty of choices on how he chooses to do things. Okay, but this is part 2, but let me go ahead and read everything again. Okay, the key verse this week is going to be verse 15 through 19, 15 through 29, and the key verse is verse 22. The key verse this week is verse 22, and it says, "What if Ananias, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long sufferings the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction." Listen to that part now. Let me read it over. Let me go here. Not just read it I'll read it right here. Verse 22. What if Ananias, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long sufferings the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. The same title as what it was last week. It is Yahuah's will that everything be the way it is. Okay, the two words for this week is the word power. Power is a 13th century word. Power means an ability, the ability to act or do. It means strength. It means vigor. It means might, control, mastery. It means lordship. It means dominion. It means the abilities or right to command or control. It means the power means the faculties of doing or performing anything. Not saying that you be correct at it, but power is an ability. Okay? Purpose. Purpose means it's a 13th century word as well. It means intentions, aim, goals, objective to be kept in view, proper function for which something exists. Purpose means that which a person set before himself as an object to reach or accomplish. I think these might be the same two words from last week. I'm not for sure. But okay, let us go to Jeremiah chapter. Let us go to Jeremiah chapter 1. Verse 4 and 5. And it reads like this. It says, Then the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. See, everything was foretold before it even happened. That's why some people say the book of Job was wrote first, but some people say the book of Revelation was wrote first. But everything was preordained or already ordained before anything was happening. It's just the simple fact is that everybody had to take their position and everybody had to go through what they had to go through because it was already ordained for these things to happen if you're going to believe in scriptures, if you're going to believe in the Bible. And I was just talking to this guy yesterday, right? And I'm getting ready to get started. I say the Most High is the writer of the movie, and we're just the characters in the movie. The Hebrew Israelites are the main characters in the movie, but everybody else is the supporting cast in the movie. Everybody is doing what they're supposed to do to afflict or to help or to come against or to do whatever against the main character in order for the main character to be recognized in the movie. And that's what I told the guy yesterday because he had difficulties trying to understand the biblical story or the Bible. And I said, well, you got to look at the Bible as a movie in order for you to comprehend that. I said, you got to have a writer. I said, you got to have people to help push out the movie, the script, which is the angels and the messengers. But you also got to be able to have characters to be able to support the writer and the creator of the movie. Those are the prophets and the people that's in the movie right today. That's the way it is. Some people say we're going through a matrix. Yes, sometimes you can look at if something has already been ordained for these things to happen. So you got to ask yourself, if everything been ordained, who's the writer of, who made these things to be ordained this way? Yahuah. Okay. Even when you go to Genesis, right? Go to Genesis chapter 5. Okay, let me see something. Genesis chapter 6. Go to Genesis chapter 6, right? And let me read a little bit of it. It says in Genesis chapter 6, verse 1, it says, and it came to pass When men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, the sons of Anani saw the daughters of men that they was fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahuah said, my spirit shall not do always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his day shall be as 120 years. Listen to this. And there was giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God, Anani, came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which was of old, men of renown. Okay, let me see something. Let me see something. Because we have to understand, how did men be able to know how to make weapons of war? How did men know how to how did men know how to who was the teacher of men to know how to create things? It was the fallen angels. It was the fallen sons of God, Ananias, that helped men be able to I just come back to it. But it was men that was the fallen angels that showed men how to read the stars, how to read the sky, how to plant for food, what was food, how to create weapons of war. It was those fallen angels that did it, right? They actually showed men how to do it. So they are the directors and the writers of the story. I mean, the producers of the story, because they are the ones that help formulate or help put information into man so that he could be able to orchestrate and be able to produce the things that they did. And without those angels, men would not have the knowledge that they have today. I'm trying to find one of my books, but I can't find it right now. The book of John. It's my book. Okay, I see it, but I ain't gonna go into it. I can get it. I ain't gonna worry about it. But the angels are the ones that taught me and everything. They are the producers. They are the directors of the movie. The Most High is the writer. The angels are the producers and directors of the movie, how things should go. And we are the cast members. And we just have to understand that portion. So all these things had to take place the way it had to take place in order for it to be fulfilled. And in your life, sometimes you could be looking at life as you being a victim, as you being persecuted, as you being going through trials and tribulations, right? But suppose the Most High is preparing you for something greater. It's just the simple fact is that you have to be obedient to the word to be able to get to the greatness. And if you're not obedient to the word, you can't get to the greatness. But if you are obedient to the word, you can get to the greatness. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you look at most prophets of the old, they was obedient to the word. They was able to get to the greatness or have that communication or have that connection to the writer of the story. And the writer would have a personal communication with him and say, this is how I want you to do it. This is what I want you to do and how I want you to do it and the way I want you to do it. Let's look at Noah. Let's look at Moses. Let's look at Abraham. Let's look at all those main 5 characters in the first 5 books. Are very important because they had that personal relationship with the writer of the story. And they was able to follow his direction in order to be able to get what they needed to have out their portion of their being a cast member. And that's when Joshua and Judges and all of them, their relationship was the same, but they understood that they just had a role in the movie from that part. They just had to play their portion and believe in the writer's objective. You got to believe in the writer's purpose in the story in order for it to be successful and in order for you to win your award. That's the way it is. That's something that we got to look at. That's something we got to think about. Because if we don't, we won't look at, we're not looking at the Most High as a sovereign deity, creator. We'll be looking at as if man did it. When man is just a cast member on set, in the scene, in the movie. And some men are playing their parts, and some men are not. So let us go ahead and get started on verse 15 in Romans chapter 9, because I want us to understand that the Most High has the right to do whatever he want to do, how he want to do it, in the way he want to do it. Just like directors, just like writers, they can make who they want to be, what they want them to be, how they want them to be. And the writer can say, well, I want this actor to go through this, but I want him to come back up, but I want him to go back down and go through this. Then he can come back down and go through up. He said, because I want people to understand the character in the situation that this the main character. I want people to understand the personality of the character, but I also want you to understand the obstacles, the ups and downs of this character, so that you could be able to understand him and his trials and tribulations and his situation in life. That's what I want you to be able to understand. That's what when you go to a movie, it's something that you got to take away from the movie in order to be able to apply it and to understand what the writer was actually trying to tell you in the movie. Now, if you don't understand what the writer, if you leave a movie and just say, hey, that was a good movie, you missed the objective of the writer. But if you go to the movies and you understand the movie and the objective of the movie, you could be able to say that was a good plot, a good story. I understood it. I understood everything about it. And I appreciate the writer for doing it. Just like the movie Avatar. Avatar is about people invading another country from another world and trying to depict these people as being savages for defending their own homeland. But the writer is trying to show you the mentality of the conquerors, of the colonizers of the land. But he's trying to show you the spiritual connections that the avatars have with the land, with the animals, and with the people. And how their deity, their creator, or their spiritual worship is not going to allow them to be defeated in the process. Even though these people have all these guns and all these ships and these modern, it still was not able to defeat the Avatar people when they went to war with the people, the invaders. But it's more to a writer's thought process than just putting something on the screen. He's trying to deliver a message to you. And that's what the Most High is trying to do right now, is to deliver a message to you. And it's up to you for you to understand that. So let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 15. And it reads, and he said, for he said it to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then, it is not of him that runneth, that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Ananias that showeth mercy. Right? I said, okay. Because that was a very, I just don't just look, I just don't read something unless somebody have to be able to interpret what the word willeth mean or runneth. I want to be able to get you to understand it, because a lot of us not going to go look and see what the definition of the word willeth mean or runneth mean. A lot of people are not going to do that. And so then if I know they're not, it's my duty to be able to tell you what the definition of those words mean so that you can understand the verse a little bit better. And so I'm going to read it in a different form. So then, it is not of him that desires, nor of him that have course of action, but of God, of Ananias that shows mercy, which is compassion. Okay? No matter what a person does, no matter what a person don't do, it is not up to them whether they get the protection of Ananias or not. It's not up to them. It is up to the Most High, because he's going to look at and the reason why it says on verse 16, but of Ananias that shows mercy, right? Mercy means pity. Mercy also means compassion. And the reason why you have pity or compassion for someone is because of the conditions that they are in. Even when you look at, say, hypothetically, the children of Israel, or say African American people, when we was in slavery from 1619 to 2019, when we was in slavery from that point, right? In 1865, when the Most High delivered us out of the physical bondage, the reason why he delivered us out of the physical bondage from legal slavery is because he had compassion and pity for us because of the conditions that we was in. And we got to understand that at that point in time, it's the same identical thing that happened in Egypt that happened in America. The Most High did not want us to serve man. He wanted us to serve him. That is the reason why he brought judgment. Okay, so when we go to Exodus chapter 9, right? Verses 1 through 7, it says, right? I'm gonna read the verses that we can understand, because the Most High never want us to serve man. The Most High never want us to serve man, because it is not our job to serve another man and worship another man. It's not our job to do that. Our job is to serve the Most High, the spiritual being of the universe. All right? It says, then Yahuah said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith Yahuah, the Ananias of the Hebrews. Listen to that. Listen to that. That's very important, because he's not the God of the Christians, the God of the Muslims, the God of the, he's the Ananias of the Hebrews. Let my people go that they may serve me and not Pharaoh. That was the biggest issue with Pharaoh, is because the simple fact is, then the Most High, because Most High never wanted his people to serve another man or another deity or creation. The Most High wanted his people to serve him and only him. And it specifically tells you that this said the Yahuah Anani of the Hebrews. Let my people go that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go and withhold them still, behold, the hand of Yahuah is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, and upon the horses, upon the asses and the camels and the oxen, upon the sheep. See, the Most High never wanted us to serve man at all. But the Most High was doing something in that time frame with Pharaoh. Also, just like he was doing something at the time when the children of Israel was in America and they was being oppressed by the colonizers. And see, I say this all the time. We have to ask ourselves, how did the North and South fight ever start? The spirit of the Most High, they had to trigger an idea in somebody's head in the North to look at the South and their finances and how they're benefiting from slavery, and the North was not benefiting the same way. A spirit had to go into one person's head, and then when that one person saw it, it spread it like wildfire. And they said, man, we got to do something about this. We can come talk to you in the South like men and say, hey, we're not going to continue to let you get wealthy off free labor when we got to pay for labor. Now, either you can work with us and get rid of slavery down here, or we going to force you to get rid of it. But see, nobody's looking at what spirit triggered the whole movement. Nobody's looking at the spirit that triggered the whole movement of the North and South fight. Nobody's thinking about what triggered the movement for the United States fighting against Great Britain or the European Union, or whoever the country is. But it was a great spirit that triggered those ideas to make things happen the way they happen. See, the North and the South were thinking they were fighting for themselves. But the Most High had a bigger objective. And the bigger objective was they was fighting each other because the Most High wanted to free his people. He was tired of his people serving other nations. How can you serve your deity up under oppression of another nation of people? How can you actually truly serve your deity, your creator, the way you need to serve him when you're being oppressed by somebody else? And you got to live and act and be the way that nation wants you to be. How can you really truly serve your country, your deity, the way he wants you to? You can't. Because you're under the influence and authority of that nation who's ruling you. That's why Moses wanted to separate from Pharaoh when he served his people. That's why he said, let us go and let us go and serve. He didn't say, let us stay and serve. He said in verse 1, then Yahuah said unto Moses, go into Pharaoh and tell him, thus said the Yahuah of the Yahuah Anani of the Hebrews, let my people go so that they can serve me. He didn't say let them stay so that they can serve me. Let my people go that they can serve me. It's a big difference. See, the Most High didn't want us to be in a contaminated environment to be able to serve Him. He wanted us to be free from all obstacles so that we can serve Him the way He wants us to. Let's go back to Romans chapter 9, verse 15. Verse 16. And I was just talking about the word mercy and compassion and pity. That is the reason why the Most High delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. That's the reason why He stopped the Atlantic slave trade. That's why He did all those things. Because He had compassion on His people. Because of their condition. What they was going through. Okay? But I wanna deal with the word, but Ananias showeth mercy. Okay, let us deal with the word mercy for a minute. Let us go to John. Because mercy is something that people get because of the conditions that they're in. Mercy you get because of the condition you're in. And because you're well favored by the people who's around you. Because you're around a certain people and they see your condition and they love you, they're gonna have a tendency to have compassion and mercy on you because of your suffering condition. It says this in 1 John chapter 12, in John chapter 1, verse 12, it says, for as many as received him, to them gave he, let me read it over. As many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Ananias, even to them that believed on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Ananias. See, everything that you get it from Ananias. You don't get it from man. Everything that you get it from Ananias. But man enhances, it helps you to develop your abilities. Because man is going to take you through things so that you can depend more on Yahuah. And when you depend more on Yahuah, your skills and your abilities and your knowledge will increase and say, now I know how to do this better. Now I know how to do that better. But the Most High does it all for you. Okay, let us go to Titus chapter 3. Titus chapter 3, 3 through 5. It says, for we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful and hating one another. But after the kindness and the love of Ananias, our Savior towards man appeared, not by works. We couldn't do nothing. I'm going to say this to you. Whoever eyes are open to your reality, whoever eyes are able to see what's going on in the world, whoever eyes are open to the word of Yahuah, you are blessed. Because there's a lot of people around the world right to this day cannot see what's actually going on. They still are so consumed with the world and what the world have for them, they can't actually see their reality. Because the Most High said, I would send a strong delusion among a lot of people. And see, when you have the abilities and you've been gifted from the Most High to be able to see and hear and speak certain things, you are blessed. Because then that means that you have the skills and abilities to be able to know how to protect yourself from adversities that may come in the earth. That means that you have the abilities to prepare yourself just like Noah, just like Joseph for the famine, just like all the saints that did it. Because you have the abilities and the skills and that have that direct communication, you have that abilities to protect yourself from everything that's happening in the earth. It's just whether you choose to act upon it or not. Because when the Most High came to Noah and said, hey, Noah, I'm finna destroy and flood the earth. I need you to build an ark. What did Noah do? He's the only one that had communication, so he's the only one that built the ark. But everybody else was so consumed with their world, and they were saying, this is such a foolish dude. He's building a boat where it doesn't rain in this area. And see, that's the thing. He does things that people can't even imagine it would happen in that realm. And because they don't think it would happen in that realm, that's why he do it the way he do it. And that's why he sends somebody there who seems to be a person that is a foreigner to do something that y'all wouldn't believe, because y'all have that strong delusion upon y'all. Just like Joseph. Joseph had a direct line of communication. He said, hey, you need to do for 7. You need to save for 7 years of famine, but I'm gonna give you 7 years. Listen, this is how he did it. And it's so important. He made sure that they had the provision before the calamities. He said, I'm gonna give you 7 years of famine. 7 years of plenty before I give you 7 years of famine. He said, I'm gonna give you 7 years of plenty so that you can prepare for the 7 years of famine. See, Most High will provide for you before the calamities so that you can make it through the calamities. That is something that we got to look at and understand. If you look at all the stories, he always provided and prepared them before so they can make it through whatever they were going through. But then it says this in Titus chapter 3, verse 4. It says, but after that, the kindness and love of Ananias, our Savior, towards man appeared, not by works, because Noah couldn't do anything to communicate. Joseph couldn't get it. Nobody could get it. It was just because of the conditions that they was in, and he understood that they had chosen people that his word needed to continue on. Not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his compassion. He saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Ghost. What does the word regeneration mean? Regeneration means rebirth. Because we became a new person. Because we became new, it means a spiritual rebirthing. You're starting to see things from the way Christ wants you to see it, or the Messiah wants you to see it. That's what regeneration means. It means a spiritual awakening. It means a state of mind has changed. That's what it means. That's what regeneration means. It means a spiritual awakening. Okay? And let us go to the last one, because it's nothing that Paul Paul did not do anything for the Messiah to come down him on the road to Damascus. The Most High said, I need to intervene for this knucklehead because he think he's doing something he's not doing. So I'm going to intervene and I'm going to stop him and I'm going to blind him for 3 days because what he think he doing ain't what he doing. So let me give him some grace and mercy at this time because I have compassion for him because of his stupidity and his ignorance. That's why the Messiah intervened with Paul. Paul couldn't do nothing to get the Most High to do it. The Most High did it because he understood Paul's intention, his heart. But he understood that Paul was on the wrong road. So he had to go and intervene for Paul. Paul couldn't do nothing. But he'd be grateful that he had the opportunity to encounter Christ. A lot of people ain't able to encounter Christ, no matter how much and what they try to do, because this right here. Okay. Go to Romans chapter 9. Go to verse 13. Because it says this, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. There's nothing that Esau can do to change the Most High's mind because the Most High have already established his emotions for Esau. Ain't nothing that Esau can do. He can't do nothing but be an instrument for Yahuah against his people. Second one, last one, and let's go to 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10. Listen to this. It's nothing that you can do. First Peter chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. It's nothing that you can do to be chosen. Listen. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy people, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. No matter what you try to do, he don't want you. He ain't got to take you. Nothing. No matter what you try to do, he don't want you. He ain't got to take you. No matter how good you try to be, no matter what you try to do, no matter how many people you feed, no matter how many people you clothe, no matter how many people you visit, if he don't want you, he ain't got to take you. He ain't got to accept you. He doing it because that's what he want to do. Not because of what you want to do. Not because of what you're doing. Then it says this in verse 10, which is in time past were not a people, but are now the people of Ananias, which had not obtained mercy, but now have attained mercy. See, I don't know why I'm going through this with my throat. Excuse me. But at one point in time, we wasn't a chosen people. Yeah. But now we are. But we had to go through all those things to be able to receive the mercy. Okay? So let us go back to Romans chapter 9, verse 17. I'm going to go to 16 and 17. It says, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth. It's not of him that desires, nor of him that have a course, but of him that showeth mercy. But that of Ananias that showeth mercy. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. For the scriptures said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. And see, when you go listen to the stories, before Joshua went into Jericho, they already knew the story. When Joshua was trying to go into Jericho, they already understood what the Most High did for the children of Israel. They was already afraid, the people in Jericho, because they knew what the Most High did, because he wanted his name to be declared upon all the earth. And it says, therefore has he mercy on whom will have mercy, and whom he will be hardened. Let me read forward. Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he dishearten. See, he had to harden Pharaoh's heart in order for things to be done the way it was done. He had to harden Pharaoh's heart. He had to make Pharaoh become an example of Yahuah. He had to show the world He had to show the world by his actions towards Pharaoh, who was actually in charge. And Pharaoh was just an example of that. But Pharaoh did not understand what was actually going on, because Pharaoh thought he was in control, but it was the Most High that was in control. We go to verse 19. It said, for thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Because what it's saying is, right, what that verse is saying, thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he find fault? If everything is supposed to be the way it's supposed to be, why do he still find fault in people? If everything is this way and everything is that way, why do he find fault? Okay, let's go back to Exodus chapter 7. Or was it chapter 9? Go to chapter 9. Let me tell you. Go to chapter 9, verse 1. He found fault because of disobedience. That's why he found fault. How can he find fault? Because of the mindset. Because, listen to it again. Then Yahuah, in Exodus chapter 9, verse 1, it says, then Yahuah said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus said Yahuah of the Ananias of Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. Right? Then we'll go back to let's go back to Romans. Listen to that verse again. That let my people go that they may serve me. Right? And if we ask ourselves, what is the fault in that? The fault in that statement is, the fault in Pharaoh is that Pharaoh did not take heed to what Moses was saying. Pharaoh did not respect Moses. So that when Pharaoh said, no, I'm not going to let your people go, that's when he was contrary. That's when the Most High found fault in Pharaoh. Because if he would just listen to Moses and say, okay, Moses, I'll let your people go and let them serve me and let them serve their God, we won't have no problem. He wouldn't have never had no problem. But because, let us go to Exodus chapter 1. Okay? Let us go to Exodus chapter 1. Because Pharaoh knew what he was doing. Pharaoh knew he didn't want to let the children of Israel go because he knew their capabilities. And he was using them for their labor. And Pharaoh wanted to use them for his purpose. But when we go to Exodus chapter 1, verses 8, listen. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they are falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. See, Pharaoh never wanted the children of Israel to leave because Pharaoh knew the abilities of the children of Israel. He knew their capacity. So that's why Pharaoh never wanted the children of Israel to leave Egypt, period. That's why the Most High said, okay, you going to act that way? I'm going to continue to harden your heart to show you. But if you just said, okay, I'm going to let you go because I know who your God is. I know who you're serving. And I don't want no rift. I don't want no issues with him. Because he didn't do that. That's why they did whatever they did. Because in then verse 11, in Exodus chapter 1, it says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. You don't think Pharaoh knew those people? You don't think Pharaoh knew who the children of Israel were? That's why he said no. That's why he got afflicted. That's why. If he would have just said yes, it would have never happened. If the South would have said, yes, we know we're getting free labor, so North, what are we can do about it? Can we come down to a reasonable and let the people go and they can make their own money? If the South would have said that, it wouldn't have been no war. But because the South said it, it was a war. Disobedience is better than sacrifice. Let me read that verse for you. Obedience go to 1 Samuel. Chapter 15, verse 22. If Pharaoh would have just been obedient, he would have never sacrificed his own kingdom, his own land, his own people because of himself. If the South would have been obedient to the North and said, hey, man, let us come together. Let us free the slaves. Let us, everybody work and get money. It would have never been no civil war in America. But because they were disobedient, so many people got slaughtered and deleted because of this situation. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22 says, and Samuel said, has Yahuah as great delight into burnt offerings and sacrifice as in obeying the voice of Yahuah? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. He said, I'd rather for you to listen and do what I ask you to do instead of go killing all these animals. Just be obedient. And that's what Pharaoh didn't do. That's what the South didn't do. That's what a lot of people didn't do. They just didn't take heed to the word. Romans chapter 9, verse. So when Paul was saying in verse 19, thou would say then unto me, why doeth ye find fault? You find fault because you still not obeying the prophet's word. You're not listening to when somebody comes to you and say, hey, you need to do this. And when you decide not to do that, that's when you bring judgment on yourself. If the Most High has been telling you to do something and you continue not to do it, that's when you are at fault. Because he's telling you, do this and do this. And you got to understand, he's telling you this for a reason. And if you continue not to do it, he going to get you. And then you can't blame yourself. You can't blame Yahuah. Because the simple fact is, he told you to do it. Just like my wife told me the other day. She said, Yahuah came to me and told me the reason why people are in the conditions they're in their physical sense, and the ailments that they have because of their own choices. Because of your choice and what you decide to do with your physical body, it is the reason why your health is the way it is. You can't blame nobody else because you, whatever condition you're in, you got to look at yourself and the choices I have made. Was I obedient? Was I disobedient? And when I was disobedient, I can't get mad with nobody but me. Whatever, if I got high blood pressure, because of me. I got diabetes because of me. If I'm whatever, because of me. But it's because you resisted the word. You resisted what Yahuah was saying. Verse 20, nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against Yahuah? Who are you to go against Yahuah? When Yahuah asks you to do something, you choose not to do it. Who are you to go against him? You are the creation. You can't tell the director in the movie, I ain't going to play that part, and I ain't going to say that word in the script. What he going to do? He's going to fire you and get you rid of you and get somebody else. So when the Most High is telling you to do something, who are you to tell him you're not going to do it? Who are you to delay his actions? Either you do it or you get cast out the movie. That's just the bottom line. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. It says, who art thou that go against Yahuah? Shall the things formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me this? Why you made? You can't go to Yahuah and say, why you made me like this, and now I ain't going to be like this. I feel sorry for those people who had all these changes made to their bodies. For whatever reason, for whatever idea, I feel sorry for you because some fact that you got to face the piper. You got to face the judgment. And the thing about it is, you could have resisted. You could have said no to whatever it is. But you bit into it. Even though you know it was wrong. Whatever lifestyle you have, if it's wrong, you know it's wrong. And you can't go to the Most High and say, well, they put water, they put chemicals in the water. No, you can't say that. You can't say I was molested. You can't say I was raped. You can't give no excuses because his word will cleanse you. That's something you can't do. You just got to understand that. You can't go to him and say, well, do what happened. Well, there's plenty of people that that happened to them. They didn't do that. They didn't decide to go that route. Or whatever your lifestyle is. If I'm on drugs, I'm addicted to drugs because, no, you can't, not a word. You read the word will cleanse you and make you whole. It'll change your life. So you can't say that. Let's go to verse 21. Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto the honor and another unto dishonor? He said, I made people to honor me and to dishonor me. Ain't nothing that you could do about it. What if Ananias willing to show his wrath and to make his power known? And that's what this whole movie is about. That's what the whole life is about right now, is to show Most High's power. Because I'm going through a situation at work, right? And I got about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going through a situation at work, right? I told the Most High where I wanted to be and what I wanted. He gave me the opportunity to get it, right? But I had to go through things to get what I wanted, right? So at one place, people thought they was persecuting me and hurting me at one location. They thought they was just really torturing me, right? But they was torturing me, but they wasn't torturing me. But they were just pushing me to my destination. They was putting me on the first step of my destination. So I had to leave one location to go to another location. But this was the processes of my life. This was the processes of my career. I had to leave one location, go to another location. Now I'm at the second location, right? So now it's favoritism at the second location, right? So now that it's favoritism at the second location, I'm having to leave the second location, right? But they think they have favoritism at the second location, but it's not actually favoritism. It's just that I have to go through another step to get to where I need to be. Because I couldn't get what the Most High wanted me at the location that I'm at. I had to go somewhere else.
At your request that you prayed for.
Go ahead. What you say now?
At your prayer of what you prayed for within that year.
Absolutely. I pray for the things that I'm getting within a year.
You had to go through a process.
Go ahead, finish.
You know what I'm saying? So you went through a process to be able to receive the blessings of your prayers.
Absolutely. But people think that they was intentionally doing something to me. But no, this is something I just had to go through to get what I prayed for.
And when you're going through that process, he reminds us, remember what your prayers were.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I had to go through all of that to get what I needed because I actually prayed for it. And see, now he said, he never... He took me to it, but he also took me through it. The people along the way of my journey was just instruments and tools for me to get where I needed to go. See, they thought they were doing something for their benefit and their glory and whatever they thought it was. But it was for me to go through all of that stuff to get where I needed to go.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. See, when it says to make his power known, and see, when people look at my life experiences and look what I've been through, look where I'm gone, they can't do nothing but say, hey, it ain't nothing but the Most High life, hands on his man's life. Can't nobody say, because if I can give you my story, and you will just only be able to say it wasn't nothing but the Most High's power and abilities to get me where I'm going, where I'm at. How I'm living is because of the Most High power. How I do things is because of the Most High's power. Everything about my life is all about trying to please the Most High. I don't care nothing about man. I'm obligated to respect man in their position when I'm at these facilities or these workplaces, but I don't care nothing about man. I care more about Ananias. That's me. And when I care more about man and I care more about Ananias, that's when the Most High blesses me to help man. Because my heart is pure for him and him alone. But let's go to Exodus chapter 9, verse 16. Because yes, the compassion from the Most High, once we have the mercy from the Most High, we'll be able to see the power of the Most High. Right, go to verse 16. Listen to this. And in very deeds for this cause have I raised thee up to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared. I just read that. Throughout the whole earth. See, and then it goes down and as yet exalt thyself against my people. Okay, everything that we see today is all about we seeing the Most High's power being in the earth and his name being exalted, uplifted. See, we should be praising the Most High because of slavery was abolished and done away with. Because could no other deity or spirit do that the way it was done except for the Most High? Let us go to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. And it reads, and Yahuah has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the days of evil. See, you got to look at your life. See, you got to look at your life. I'm on the good side or the bad side. And I'm on the good or the evil side. And then you can even say, then you can look at your life and say, Yahuah has made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the days of evil. Look at your character and say, am I participating in good? Or am I participating in the evil? And if I'm participating in evil, you got to say, the Most High created me for this part here? Or did he create me for the good part? And whatever it is, you got to fight like whatever it is to stay on the good side and not the evil side. And then it says in verse 5, it says, everyone that is proud in heart, everyone that is proud in mind is an abomination to Yahuah. Everybody who think they better than who they are is an abomination to Yahuah. Though hand joined in hand, he shall not be unpunished. And that's the situation I'm in today. People who I work with sometimes think they're proud and boisterous, and I got to do this and I got to that. And I'm going to do what I think I'm going to do is right. But in actuality, you send yourself to be punished because the Most High sent you what you asked for. And when the Most High sent you what you asked for, you wasn't even thankful to appreciate what he gave you. So when he gave you what you asked for and you don't appreciate, he's going to take it away from you. Listen to that, because he's going to turn around and give you what your heart desires. And then that's when you're going to be punished for everything that you did, because the simple fact is you thought you were running the show. You thought you was the man. You thought you was this and that, and you're not. You're nothing but a tool in the toolbox. A member on the casting in the movie. You're a cast member in the movie. Go to Revelations. Revelation chapter 8. Revelation chapter 6. Verse 16 and 17. This is the power of Yahuah. Yahuah is so powerful, you can't even imagine how powerful he is. It's not even a train of thought. Okay, and it says to them and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of lambs. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's the power and abilities that the Most High have. He's so powerful that he can stop a rock from falling on you because he want to judge you and put you through more torture and torment.
Mm.
He's not going to allow you to commit suicide because he got something for you. He wants you to suffer in the way he wants you to suffer because of the things that you did. Well, he want to bless you in the way he want to bless you. See, the director of the movie can do it however he want to do it. He can have you to be deleted the way he wants you to delete it. Whatever your character, whatever the director want his characters to be, that's the way they're gonna be. Romans 9. I'm about done. I'm not gonna read no more verses, but I'm gonna read some more verses. Because it says this, what if Ananias willing to show his mercy, his wrath, and to make his power known? Everything that you're seeing is Most High's power. Endure with much long sufferings the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Everybody who's going to be destroyed, they were designed to be destroyed. Because the simple fact is, that's what they wanted. Can't say the Most High didn't come to you and say, hey, let my people go, or hey, do this, or hey, do that. You can't say he didn't want you, he didn't try to stop you from going the wrong way, but it was your choice to go the wrong way. When you chose to go the wrong way, it's on you, it's not on him. Okay? It says, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of compassion. On the vessels of compassion, which he had afore prepared unto glory. That means ordained. That afore means before prepared unto glory. Yes, even us whom he has called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. As he said it also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not my beloved. Talking about the old person, the old stuff. When we was acting out, we weren't his people. When women was stripping, they ain't his girls. They ain't his beloved ones. Okay, and it says, and when it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of Ananias, the children of the living Ananias. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, thou the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. Only a remnant. You look at the world, there's more people concerned about the world than more people concerned about Yahuah. Get ready to get that song ready. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness. Because a short work will Yahuah make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lords of Sabbath have left us a seed, we have been as Sodom, and we have been like unto Gomorrah. Okay. Only a remnant of people are going to be able to see the power of Yahuah. Because the simple fact is, that is the way the Most High made it. You just got to figure out, are you going to be a part of the remnant? Or are you going to do what Yahuah asked you to do? Because Pharaoh had a chance to save himself. Everybody has an opportunity to save themselves, but whether they choose it or not, that's on them. That's the power of choice, the abilities to do whatever you decide to do. If he's telling you to do something, you got to. That's why Paul say you got to die to that. Your flesh got to be a living sacrifice every day. You got to die to that flesh every day. It says, not thy will, but your will be done. That's what you got to say every day in order to get the blessings of Yahuah. So, Father, as we come to you today, we thank you, we bless you, we praise you, we give y'all the honor and the glory. Father, we thank you for everything you have done and what you continue to do. Father, let us hear the way you want us to hear, see the way you want us to see, and speak the way you want us to speak. Father, we understand your word. We understand what you're trying to do. We just ask that your word not go out and come back void. In your high name we pray, so let it be. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Y'all have a blessed one. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for whoever listened to my videos. Thank y'all for everything that you do. I appreciate it. It really means a lot if you give a like or subscribe or even share my video. I appreciate it very much. On Facebook, do the same thing. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Like and share it. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
It's about to watch me win. I'm coming out unstoppable. God turned my pain to powerful. They try to bury me, I grew. Now I'm rising, breaking through. I'm coming out unbreakable. Every scar now valuable. What didn't kill me made me strong. Now I'm where I belong. I was drowning, couldn't breathe, carrying weight they couldn't see, smiling outside, dying within, fighting wars I couldn't win, felt forgotten, left alone, crying out with no one home. But in the silence God spoke clear, I was always right here. Every tear I cried at night, God was turning into light. Every loss I thought I had was preparing something bad for the enemy. Now I see it clear as day. God was making me this way. What I went through didn't in me. It anointed me to win. I've been, but I didn't break. I cried, but still had faith. I fell, but I got up stronger. Now my season lasts longer. I'm coming out unstoppable. God turned my pain to powerful. They try to block me, I broke through. Now I'm doing what they can't do. Oh, I'm coming out untouchable. Favor on me, undeniable. Every door they try to close, God open wide. Now watch me go, 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 go. They counted me out, wrote my end, but God rewrote it. Now I win. What they meant for evil plans, God flipped it all. Now I stand. I got power in my voice. I don't beg, I make noise. Heaven back in every step. I ain't even finished yet. Chains broke, I felt it snap. Devil thought I wouldn't clap back. Now I walk in full authority. God restored what was stolen from me. Double blessings, double grace. You can see it on my face. I'm not who I used to be. I'm who God destined me to be. Unstoppable. I'm rising now. Unstoppable. I made it out. Unstoppable. No fear in me. God said live. Now I'm free. They try to bury me. I blow. They try to break me. I broke through. Every setback turned to gain. Now I'm dancing in the rain. I remember when I almost gave up. When I didn't see a way out. But God made a way. Now I'm proof I didn't break. I leveled up today. I'm coming out. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out. Nothing now is impossible. God turned my story into glory. Glory. Now the world gon' hear my story. Glory. I'm coming out. Can't stop me. Stop me. What he promised me, he brought me. I survived, now I thrive in this time of my life. Look at me now. I didn't die in it. I didn't stay in it. I came out of it stronger, wiser, anointed. I'm coming out. I'm coming out unstoppable. I'm coming out unstoppable. Nothing now is impossible. God turned my pain into purpose. all that pain for nothing.
Listen
Every
to that.
tear,
Listen to
every
that.
delay, every moment you almost quit. It was all working for you. You're not coming out the same. You're coming out stronger. You're coming out wiser. You're coming out anointed. You're coming out unstoppable. With God, unstoppable. God.
Hey, y'all have a blessing. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hopefully I'll see y'all next Sabbath.